When all this happened, I decided that I got to get out somehow. Something's got to be done some way. To make a long story short, he says, Henry, I don't know, you're a little bit young for this. I'm going to give you a new personality. You will become Belgian boy. You will be living in that house. You will go to Catholic school and you will act as a Catholic boy. I was André Barniche. The people there, their last name was Barniche, so it could make sense. Their boy was going in that Catholic school. The only people in that school that knew anything about this would be the principal, father, and the teacher. The only way they could figure it out, because the paperwork was done correctly by the underground and so on, is by, you knew when they came into class, you drop your pants. If you were circumcised, you were Jewish. When and if we hear and we know, or they're searching another class, you will be so sick, you will go to the infirmary. So I used to go in there until the searches was over, and funny how I got well. I really want to go home. My mother will take care of me. And so that was the game. Then that was just not enough. I was growing up at that point, and I became an adult. And I said, how can I help shorten this war? To Albert, and that's all he wanted to hear. He wanted me to grow up. He wanted to see what life was like on the outside. He says, Henry, if you're ready, you will be in the resistance. Just know that all of us Belgians are not Jewish. None of us are. And some of them are not exactly happy with Jews anyway. You will still be hiding. So you're hiding in plain sight. You're hiding from the people you will be doing things with. You're hiding in school. And then the only time you can be yourself is home. So I didn't know who the hell I was, but I knew one thing. I want to do this. And the best thing you could do is sabotage trains, because, I mean, they had them going all over, to France, to Germany, to concentration camp. So a kid running through the rails is not unusual. So that was my job. Blowing up rail stations, throwing bombs in cafes, because we had the outdoors cafe in Belgium. The Germans were free to get Gestapo were having their beers and drinks. One day as I was going, I passed a bar. A German soldier goes out and he was drunk and throwing up. So I got up to run away, and he finds me, gets a hold of me, and he says, you little Jew boy. And he pulls out the gun. And just before he does, I pulled out mine. And for my first time ever, I killed a man. Until the day of liberation, what was left is myself, my mother. My sister came back from the convent, and at 16 took care of us by working at the USO. I, for some reason, because my father was a cantor, got a good voice, and I went cafe to cafe to sing my way through. I won prizes singing, and that was my survival, because the three of us no longer had a roof. As bad as it was, we had a roof over our head. So we did what people do. You go in, you look for a place, you take the place, you don't pay, then you run away at night. And we did that about 8 or 9 or 10 times. Survival was harder after, when you were not hidden anymore, because you were still a stranger in a country full of anti-Semitism. In fact, they weren't too happy about the survival of the people that came back. You took back what belonged to you, in most cases, by force. Then we found out later that my sisters and brothers, who were hoping would come back by some miracle, never came back. And my sister married a GI, went to Philadelphia, then brought my mother to the United States. Then me, wasn't so, well, I didn't want to go anywhere, but I became, because I wanted to join something with kids again, my age. So I joined what they call Hashomer HaTzair. This was my salvation. Until 1991, we formed this Hidden Children Foundation where we met every year. From what I thought was going to be 200 people, I rented 200 people in New York Marriott Hotel. Turned out to be 3,000. Sisters and brothers were reunited. The next year we had it in Israel. And we don't let a year go by the way. It's been held in London. Then my kids got old enough. I brought them. It was in Woodland Hills, and at the Marriott in Woodland Hills. And we had facilitators, psychologists, psychiatrists. We talked, we exchanged stories. It was an amazing thing. And so after 3 wars and cancer, which I beat 3 years ago, voila, here I am.